Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. My name is Joe Oriani, and I am your host. If you want to comment, reach me, or have suggestions, or want to be on the show, please go to my email. It's Joe Oriani Podcast at yahoo.com. You can go to my Twitter. I'll give you that number shortly because hell, I remember what it is. Anyway, I was sitting here thinking before we start the show that it's very difficult sometimes to come up with headings like Help Me Banana Man and all this other stuff. I have done a lot of them and my brain is not functioning correctly. I'm starting to feel like Joe Biden. Sad. Anyway, that's what happens when you get old. But I do want to tell you my Twitter account or X account. Uh, it's Joe Oriani at ORIANIJOE3. So you can reach me there. I know I'm a little confused this morning, but I'm getting ready. I'm packed and getting ready to go to my trip. I'll be taking an auto train up tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon to Virginia, Lawton, Virginia, then driving another 6 hours to Spotswood, New Jersey, spend a couple of days there, and then leave up to go up to Erie, Pennsylvania, which is another 6, 7 hour drive, spend a couple of days there, then head back. I was gonna hit Hershey Park, but I decided since I'm unable to really walk without being in severe pain, we're just gonna go to Lancaster and hang out there. Maybe some good food, or, check out some of the markets. And then load up and head back Friday morning. Bypass Washington DC and take our sweet time coming home. If I see anything of interest, we'll stop, because we will not be in any kind of rush. As long as I'm back by Tuesday, following Tuesday. So anyway, that's about it for the moment on me. But like I said, I'm running out of headlines to write. I always put a headline when I do the show. I have to come up with something different. I have like 60 of them, and I'm pretty good at that. But you know what? We'll see what I put on today's. But anyway, let's talk about the news. Ladies and gentlemen, the news is actually pretty damn interesting. First off, now I get my news from the New York Times. I get my news from Fox News. I get my news from the Drudge Report. I get my news from the New York Post. Those are the things I read every day, no matter what I'm doing. I want to make sure, because I want to make sure I get them all. But sometimes they're just so freaking boring. It's the same old crap. But this week, there's a little different. We had the Hunter Biden trial. Now, he is accused of signing his name while he was actively an addict. Now, I have a gun, and I will say this, I disagree with that. I don't think it matters if you're addict, if you're senior, no matter what you are. If you want to get a gun, get a gun. As long as you don't discharge it, use it carelessly, you know, responsible. But I disagree with his father, so it's his father's fault. I also disagree with Trump's conviction. That was really screwed up. But Biden's was pretty straightforward. It was pretty quick. And based on the law itself, he was guilty. He's now a convicted felon. Now, Trump, on the other hand, he's a convicted felon, but man, they had a dig for a charge. Whew, I'd hate to be in court. So anyway, the problem is he has a tax evasion coming up in September sometime. I do believe he's going to cop a plea on that one, because that's another straightforward thing. Either you paid your taxes or you didn't. I don't think he can get away with it. Now, as far as Joe Biden is concerned, I do believe he is going to go ahead and pardon him right after the election. Win, lose, or draw. Because he has to. It's his son. And besides, Hunter Biden has a lot of stuff. When we get to the tax trial, by the way, if it goes that far, that might be really interesting, because then the name of Joe Biden might come up with regards to incomes and where he got his money and how it was spent, besides on the hookers and drugs. So again, that'd be very interesting. Now they have Trump, and Donald needs to stop with his rant and raving about the other election. It's over with. Let's move on, Donald, please. Anyway, you have people saying that if Donald Trump wins the election, he's going to put them in jail. You know what? He's not gonna. He didn't do that to Hillary, and she really deserved it. What makes you think he's going to do it? He's going to have 4 years, and whatever he does, he has to make sure whoever his vice president pick is, that he can continue on with the Republican Party. So it's up to him to prop up his vice president, and his vice president take advantage of it. Now, Joe Biden, they have a debate coming up soon with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump wants him to take a drug test. Now, I'm inclined to agree with that, because there are certain times he looks like he's on Ritalin. I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but that's the way it looks or appears, because he's got the sudden burst of energy. I was watching him at a thing for June 14th or 17th, whatever it was, celebration, and he was standing there like a zombie. Everybody else was moving around, clapping hands. Joe Biden's like, didn't know what the hell to do. And then when he had a speech in front of a place that doesn't want guns, a group of people who are against guns, he talked about people not being able to have cannons during the Civil War. That's not during Revolutionary War, but way back when. You want to buy a cannon, you could have bought a cannon. He also talks about how, well, they don't need rifles if they think the government's being bad, or if they want to overthrow it, they need planes. Joe, where are you coming up with this stuff? Now, I can sit here and tell you that everything I tell you every week, if you put it all together, it would make a hell of a good movie. The suspense, the drama, the bullshit, it's just like that. Speaking of drama, the EU is having problems since the liberals are losing over there, and they want to have the conservatives. They're tired of immigrants. They're tired of immigration. They're tired of climate change controls, tired of all the laws. So I think that's great. And they should go ahead and change that a little bit. Change is good, depending on what it is, because you can always change it back. So we'll see how it goes. I know the EU is not happy with it, but you know what? Tough. If you rule correctly, you can win. Rule for the people, not for your political positions, which they say like Netanyahu is doing. But I'm sorry, again, I say to him, go for it. You rescued 4 prisoners, 100 more to go. Keep going. Don't stop until you're right at that ocean. That'll bring any river to the sea spot, like I told you. And the problem is, one of the prisoners, or a couple of them, were actually inside civilians' homes that were given guns. And I watched a video of it, and I watched one guy jump when the shot was fired. Well, what do you think is going to happen sooner or later? Yeah, you have to blame the people. You just can't blame Hamas. They're not holding a gun to their head that I know of. And the Hamas leader said they're right in the position they want them to be, that they don't care. Hamas don't care if people lose their lives. It'll make us look bad. And actually, speaking of looking bad, back on this date in 1982, I believe it was. Let me see. Oh, yeah, June 12, 1987. Reagan urges Gorbachev to tear down this wall. Well, right now, I think Russia ought to tear down something like their government. Because Putin's still an idiot. So, with that having been said, we go to the New York Times today, who you can't find a thing on Biden until all the way down near the bottom. And yes, when they did, Trump was right across the top of the page. And then, of course, they add Donald Trump in because they're so liberal. It says here, conviction of Hunter Biden, Donald Trump put the justice system on trial. Well, they didn't get that with Trump, the most courageous thing Joe Biden can do, yes, pardon his son, Hunter conviction underscores Trump narrative of bridge system. I don't understand why they keep bringing Trump up. Because I'll tell you this, that 51 intelligent people who signed off and said that the laptop was fake, they ought to have the security clearance thrown the hell out. The lion on a form, they did the same thing. Because that laptop is as real as can be. Because they use it as evidence and there's nothing they can do about that. And Hunter Biden can't say it's not his. What? But we'll see how justice is sometimes not only blind, it's stupid. But that's just me saying that. I know coming up, people are talking about how hot it is, global warming. I'm sorry, it's friggin' summertime. Yeah, it's probably the hottest summer we ever had, but it's still summer. I know summer don't officially start to June 21st, but this is Florida. What do you expect? Snow? It's been in the 90s to 100. And speaking of which, I am going to Las Vegas beginning of July, and the temperature's there 110, 115. But since I'm not leaving a hotel and I'm just gonna sit there playing poker tournaments, it don't matter to me. My wife will go up on her room, up on the roof and burn by the pool. I have reservations at Caesars for the best buffet in town. So that'd be fun too. Going out to Denver, Colorado, hopefully, it had 93 degrees the other day, scary. I'm looking for cooler weather. It's gonna be cooler down here though, we're getting a lot of rain. As far as other things going on in the world, the Russian ships got too close to Florida on their way to Cuba. The United States sent out some ships, push them away. They have some kind of missile now. If that was John F. Kennedy, they wouldn't even be getting close to Cuba. And he was a Democrat, folks. Things he would have done. That's why you had the missile crisis. Now all these wimpy ass politicians don't say nothing. If they want to do something, you call them hawkish. Well, I call them protecting my rear end. Now I have people that click on here from other countries, such as, I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Okay. I had to think about what I was gonna say here. Like I said, whatever Joe Biden's on, I want some. We have gotten hits on this particular podcast or show from the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, Switzerland, India, and Canada. We had 60 from China about 2 weeks ago, but I guess they didn't like it because they didn't come back. And I wish all them people from different countries would turn around and tell their friends to go to YouTube, type in my name, buy my podcast, hit like, and then subscribe. It's all free. You can send me messages there too. I do have a website. I just don't have the money to pay for it right now, but I will get that back up and running when I come back from my vacation. And you can make comments, anything you want. That's kind of neat. But like I said, I'm running out of titles here. I mean, I have different ones. What the world needs now. Hey, Mr. Tallyman telling me banana trip around the world. Stone Blue Light. Best back to school. Day of Remembrance. Army Sheriff Bola. So all the things that I have, I need to go ahead and think of something else for this one. But I will get out of my brain fog as soon as I wake up and have another cup of coffee. I have to, like I said, I have to finish packing. And I know I'm repeating myself. That's okay. I don't give a shit. I'm the one listening to this thing. I don't know how many other people are. But let's talk about the general election at the moment. Most polls show it's really tight. It's really a tight election. I do think after the debates, it's going to go a little better towards Trump, especially if Joe Biden is not on Ritalin. That'd be neat. Yes, I'm learning to play the harmonica and also learning to play the guitar back there. And I'm actually a slow learner. I want to learn to be a ventriloquist too. So I got to study that a little bit. Jeff Dunham, where are you when I need you? Okay, so anyway, folks, that is it. This isn't a BS for today, just general garbage. Just ranting and raving of an old man just sitting here, not in his mother's basement, in his own little room and having fun. I do enjoy this, no matter how many people subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm not making no money from it. It's cost me money. If you want to donate, whenever you watch this, you'll see a spot where you can donate, and that would be appreciated. Okay, I want everybody to have a nice week. And I want you to always remember, and I say this every week, if you are not laughing, you're not living. And that is the fact. If you can't do nothing else in this life, all you could do is laugh, and it would be a lot better. Life would be more pleasant, more fun. And I like getting people to laugh. I could try stand-up comic, being a stand-up comic, but my problem with that is I need an audience to pick on, like Don Rickles did or something. And I know damn well I could get myself in a lot of trouble. I wouldn't tell any racist jokes or, well, sexist jokes I might, but this is the way I am. Sarcasm is good for me. Where I come from up in New Jersey, New York area, that's all we do. And when I move somewhere else, they don't understand sarcasm for the life of me. So anyway, again, remember, get hold of me at Joe Oriani podcast at yahoo.com. Or go to my Twitter account and leave me a message. Go to my YouTube account and leave a message there. You can do that, and again, hit like. I'd appreciate it. And subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, not a dime. You can look it up all the time. So anyway, that's it for me. I got to edit this because I really screwed this up pretty good. So everybody again, have a nice day. And do remember, if you are not laughing, you are not living. Bye from Florida.